Alright, how to quit porn, part 3. After part 1 and 2, you should understand yourself better. You should understand and keep looking for the reasons for why you start watching. What is it that triggers you into watching? And also, how do you feel about watching? Do you feel bad? Do you feel pleasure? What is it? And who are you? Like, who are you as a person? What is your sexuality? These are important things to understand while you try to solve this issue. And I should mention about the part 1 still that when you watch pornography, remember that the cravings, when you see people do certain things on screen, certain acts, those are not something you actually desire. Those might not be your fantasies. You might not want any of those. But it's because you've seen them and you keep seeing them that you think that those are something you want. But I will tell you, my experience now that I've been free from porn for such a long time is that I realized I actually don't want to do anything. You know, all the more extreme things that you see in porn, I really don't care about doing those. I don't want to try those with anyone. I used to think, hey, maybe I want to try the thing with someone in the future. I don't. It was just because I was watching that stuff. It made me think and imagine that I want it, but I actually don't want it. Now that I can see clearly, I'm not intoxicated anymore. So that's something I wanted to mention about the first video. And you know, part 2 was about how it is unethical to watch porn mostly. And that's something to remember. So that should be something you always think about after you have been watching porn. Think about it. If you're not doing the quitting for yourself, then do it for the world. Make this world a better place. Become a better person. Reach your potential. Help others. Don't contribute into that shit, into that filth, into that degenerate activity. Don't contribute into that. Become someone to look up to. Become the best version. Become the main character of your own life, of the movie that is your life. So anyway, let's get into the part 3. I wanted to say that you should probably prepare for the possibility that it will take a long time for you to quit. And it will take you countless attempts to quit. And I don't even want you to think about you trying to quit and failing as attempts to quit. And so, like, I don't even want you to think your failures as failures. I want you to think of those as steps that you need to take that are a natural part of the process of quitting. And that's something I like about the book called The Easy Peasy Method, The Easy Way to Quit Porn. I like about that book that it says, while you read the book, keep doing what you're doing. Keep watching pornography. And I like it because I think it's essential that you understand that you might have to keep watching it for a long time to come. Because the point is, you have to find a way to build your character and to build your identity and to build your life. And on the side, you just have to let it be. You have to let that addiction exist until one day it won't. Like, one day you will drop the addiction because your actual real life and your character have grown enough so that you can shed off. You can cut off automatically and naturally that addiction. If you keep focusing on being addicted, if you keep focusing on nofap, you keep focusing on quitting and thinking about quitting and failing and keeping streaks, then that's your identity, that's your character. You are an addict who is trying to quit, and that's it. Like, that's your goal, that's your mission, that's your purpose, that's not gonna build your character outside of that at all. That's gonna keep you in the eternal loop of being a victim, of being an addict, and you will never really, like, how are you supposed to get out of that if that's all you focus on? If your life is quitting, about trying to quit, if your life is about making streaks and counting days on nofap, then that's your whole existence, and that's not good. That's not gonna help you. And so I want to tell you how, for me, what really has helped me to build something aside on the side. Just look, like in some of my videos, I show around where I live. I show my home gym and I show my house, at least on the outside, and I show the environment. I have gained these things and built these things and achieved these things on the side, while the whole time, my whole adult life, I have been addicted to porn, more or less, usually more. I have wasted so many hours and so many days of my life instead of achieving things and creating things and building things. I've just wasted my life staring at a screen. But still I have achieved to have a moderately nice life. A moderate income, a house in the countryside, a home gym. Now I have an amazing girlfriend. I've achieved these things, and that is why I was able to quit. Because you see, when I met my girlfriend, for example, I had been doing better a month, only a month. And before that, I had really had big issues with watching porn during the summer. But because all those years I had been working on myself and building myself, I had read and listened to a lot of material about relationships, for example, and about what it is to be a man and what it is, how to have a good balance in a relationship between a man and a woman, so that when I met my girlfriend, it was just like a natural thing to happen, and I was able to easily sort of integrate that into my life and into my character and into my identity. And that's why it was easy for me to quit watching porn at all whatsoever when I met her, because I was already that person in a way. I had already thought about what I want my relationship to be like. I had already thought about how I want to be a good man, a loving man, a virtuous man. And that was just like one more important piece of the puzzle that I added into my life. And then I did not try to quit porn. It just vanished from my life. I just dropped porn just like that, easily, no effort. And this is something that, for example, in the book Easy Peasy Method is mentioned, that actually quitting porn is effortless and you shouldn't try to use willpower. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, but it took me a while to understand what it is, what it means. Because it's true, you should not try to use your willpower. Don't try to tough it out. Don't try to, like don't sit in front of your computer without having anything to do. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna just sit here. I have my keyboard here and my screen here, and I'm just gonna not watch porn. Because guess what? You're gonna watch porn. What you need to do is either film a video like this for YouTube. That's a good productive thing to do. Or hell, the best thing to do if you have a problem with addiction, with porn addiction, computers are pretty damn dangerous for you. So go outside. And that's the thing, for me, how was I able to build my character and my identity was through fitness. So it was something outside of my house. It was something that did not involve computers or smartphones at all. Because, one of the problems why I wasn't able to do programming more on my spare time to finish my game project was because I would just end up watching porn on my computer, to be honest, or watching YouTube videos. So the best thing for me was actually always outside of my house, in the real world. And that was hitting the gym, lifting weights. Because I got myself a really good body. Fitness can be something where you focus on your goals of lifting weights. You focus on improving your bench press, your squat, and your deadlift, powerlifting. Or you focus on running a marathon. You go outside, you leave your computer inside, and you go outside and you actually do something measurable. You do something where you need to eat 4 times a day, so you have structure for your day. You can't skip the meals. So even if you're watching porn the whole day, you still have to eat. You have to move. You have to leave your computer to go eat. You have to leave your computer to go run. You have to leave your computer to go to the gym. You're building your body, you're building your mind, you're building your character, and you're gaining confidence. And so what that on the side you're jerking off to porn every day? Doesn't really matter. It really doesn't actually matter. As long as you are taking notes how you feel and you know you want to quit, and you're also building an image in your head about when you find your partner, what kind of a couple you want to be. Because you don't want to be someone who's jerking off to porn when you're without your girlfriend. Because that's just not good. That's going to ruin your sex life. And it's not going to make you a very good man anyway. Like a real fucking man. And that brings me to like creating an image of yourself. Do you want to be someone that when your girlfriend leaves, you go hunch over your computer and jerk off to pornography? No, you don't. So make that image and train your body so that you start to look like, you start to look cool. You start to look like the main character of your life, of the movie that is your life. And create an image for what you're gonna be in a relationship, what your relationship is gonna be like, what your family is gonna be like, what your future is gonna be like. Do all these good things while watching porn and jerking off. Because you can't cut it just like that. You just fucking can't. Some people can, but for me, no. And if you're anything like me, then you cannot do it instantly, quickly, suddenly, cold turkey. You just can't. So it's better to, but yeah, of course you have to try. Like every day you spend without porn is a victory, sure. But don't obsess over days. Don't obsess over counting days. Don't obsess over quitting. Don't think about yourself as an addict all the time. Like if you focus on it, it will grow. So if you focus on porn, even if you focus on quitting porn, that is focusing on porn, and then it's not gonna do any good for you. What you should focus on is all the other things. If you watch a video like this, if you watch a video about quitting porn, and after it you go watch porn, that's really obviously bad. But you shouldn't, like, at the same time you should care and you should do your best to not do that. But at the same time, if it happens, then don't fucking give a shit. Once you're done watching that porn, go run. Go hit the gym. Or go to sleep early. And wake up early next day to go to the gym or go running or work on a project. And if you have the same problem that I had, if you have the same problem that you can't work on anything on your computer because you're so fucking addicted that you're just gonna end up watching porn, then don't do it. Like if you're working on a video game, then I'm sorry, but it could be that you can't do it right now. So maybe you should focus on something else right now. So go run. Do something that doesn't require a computer. Go run. Seriously, start running. Because that's easy. Or start the gym. Do something. You outgrow the porn consumption. You outgrow, like it doesn't fit into your life anymore. And then as you try doing this, as you try, you keep on trying to quit all the time without focusing too much on it. One day something will happen and something will click and you will be able to quit. But it usually requires something that really like is the final puzzle piece to create your character. And for example, maybe you should start making YouTube. And then as you make YouTube, it's gonna click. You're like, well, I mean, I just don't watch porn anymore. I don't feel like watching porn anymore because all I think about is making these videos, and all I think about is how I want to be a role model and how I want to, like, I just don't care anymore. Because that's basically what happened with me when I started dating my current girlfriend. It was like, I wasn't really thinking about like, oh, today I'm not gonna watch porn. I was just, I was texting her on my spare time and thinking about our relationship and what I wanted, to make that. And at the same time, I was continuing hitting the gym and running and thinking about my infinite game project that I haven't finished, and thinking about my YouTube, like what am I going to do with YouTube? I just continued my life, but there was just this one more piece into the puzzle that just magically made me not care about porn anymore. But it's not magically, because it's actually because this whole time for 10 years Basically, let's say 10 years, because it's been, you know. So for 10 years, let's say, I've been trying to quit porn on and off, more or less. And the past 5 years especially, I've been actively trying to quit porn for 5 years. I've been taking all these steps, I've been doing all these things, and I focused way too much on it. I focused on porn way too much and quitting on porn way too much. So that's something I wouldn't, you know, that's one of the mistakes I think that I made, that I obsessed over quitting porn when I should have obsessed more over other things. It's good that I obsessed over fitness. I was always thinking about my bench press and squatting and deadlifts and running, and especially last year, like all I was thinking about was like how I'm gonna do that marathon. And when you train for a marathon and you run for like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours one day, you can't watch porn for those hours. And then you don't really think about it. And then you have to sleep. You're tired as fuck. And you have to sleep so you can run the next day. You need to have something like this in your life that you do. Something that works as an anchor that keeps you from drifting away from your center. You know, your real self, your healthy self. Because you need to have clarity on who you want to be and who you really are. So that when you start drifting away into the fantasy world of porn and like being an addict and like, ooh, I just want to watch porn and nothing else. I want to find a hot girl who I can make porn with or watch porn with, or some crazy fantasy like that you might have as you watch porn and you think, oh, I want to do that. I want to find a really perverted girl to do these things with. No, you fucking don't. Like, actually, you don't. So try to find yourself and what you really want. And then focus on doing those things that you really want. And I can't emphasize it enough that fitness is the perfect anchor. Because it requires sleep, it requires nutrition, it requires structure, it requires doing something consistently. And that will keep you centered. When you drift away to the porn, you're like, hey, I have to go run so I can meet my goals. You're back to the center. You drift away to porn again. You're like, I have to go to the gym so I can so I can get closer to my goal in the gym. Now you go back to the center again. So it's like, you drift around the center, but you keep coming back because you have something you do consistently. So that's your anchor. And fitness is honestly maybe the best one. But I think something like making YouTube can also be that, because then you're like, well, I want to make 2 videos a week and I need to edit them. I need to film and edit. I need this and that. So you need something like that. And then just fap on the side, dude. Don't obsess over nofap. And I'm gonna make a video about nofap anyway. You should do nofap at some points in your life, but sometimes you really shouldn't. Sometimes you really should not give a shit about nofap, because one thing I will add before I quit and finish this video, which is too long anyway, is that if you are watching porn and you're addicted to porn, then nofap is gonna make your cravings even higher, and it's gonna make you think, well, maybe if I just touch myself a little bit, I'm not gonna come. I'm just gonna touch a little bit. And then you actually end up edging day after day after day, because you're like, yeah, but I'm not coming. So it's like, you know, it's kind of like nofap. Like, you come up with these fucking excuses. So I think that's why, like, sometimes you should just really recognize that you should get post-nut clarity, and you should take full advantage of post-nut clarity so that you can do something productive, because now you're not horny anymore because you get the post-nut clarity. There are times like that when you really should not do nofap, but then there's times when it's something you should do, and you should have those periods, long periods, without doing anything sexual. So anyway, I will make another video on that too. So yeah, so find your anchor, create your character, build your character, build your identity, build your confidence, and eventually you will be able to drop porn. You will just shed it off. It will just drop automatically without effort, because you put effort into other things in your life. So that's it. Now I'm going to edit this video and it's going to take forever. So see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.